It is simple economics, says researcher James Cumming, regarding the skyrocketing house prices in Namibia, which results from the high cost of building houses. Because of high demand and the shortage of serviced land, prices automatically increase, and at the end of the day, property is made available to the highest bidder. However, this can change.
The city of Windhoek has about 2,000 hectares of undeveloped land, but they don't have the funding to service that land. From our perspective, it's probably not an insurmountable issue. The city of Windhoek can just be fair, could be a bit more creative and maybe engage the private sector to service the land or sell the land as unserviced land, and then have the private sector fund the servicing and do the servicing of the land. And I think from our analysis, it's more the provision of land which is the issue. To build a house costs a certain amount. You can't get around it. The building sector is fairly competitive, so the prices at which they build is fairly, would be competitive and not extremely out of whack.
A perfect example on the demand and supply scenario is the Academia plot auction that took place on October 16th last year, where 400 square meter plots were auctioned off on average for $1 million each. On top of this, buyers are required to build properties double the cost of the land.
If that cost of the land could be brought down to say 200, 300, 400,000, it brings the final cost of the housing down by 600,000 or whatever. So I think the shortage of actual physical land is more an issue than the building costs.
Meanwhile, it is reported that government might need $1 billion per year to service the promised 200,000 plots, which could take them 10 years to complete, taking into consideration the limited resources, including shortage of skills.